Welcome to the fight of the week. I'm Don Dunphy, ringside commentator. Hard-punching middleweights are featured in the main event tonight as George Benton of Philadelphia meets Rubin Hurricane Carter of Paterson, New Jersey over the 10-round distance.
Oh yeah, one of my favorite middleweights, George Benton, the Philadelphia shell master, defensive genius and war veteran of 61 victories. At the time he fought Carter, was no foe to take so lightly, and even Hurricane knew that. Although both these war dogs never became champions, they could still display great boxing skill. Remember that a fighter doesn't need to be a champ to influence future ones, and George Benton is the first one that should come to mind. If anything, from this bout's outcome, it'll prove one thing, that a hard slugger like Rubin Hurricane Carter, or any slugger style for that matter, can still pull through a victory over a scientific boxing style like the more experienced George Benton. Although Rubin in his younger days was quite the troublemaker and fearmongerer, he did have respect for his buddy George. Carter's comments. George was one tough son of a bitch. He was one of those brothers who could do it all in the ring. He wanted this win like Dracula needed blood. This was his big chance to move up the ladder, but he had to get over me first. I knew all that, and I also knew he could punch and he could box, and his defense was the best, so I had my hands full from the get-go when I signed for the fight. I had made a comment back then in an interview that at the weigh-in, I discovered that George was a bit more afraid of me than I was of him. We posed for photos at the weigh-in, and I said then that he was a bit shy up under the left tit, meaning that I sensed he was a bit nervous about fighting me, and I thought at the time I took a little bit of his heart at the weigh-in. On May 25th, 1963, Madison Square Garden, Hurricane Carter and George Benton would face off in a very classic performance in the ring. Benton needed this win to become #1 contender in the middleweight division. Entering the fight with Carter on a 9-fight win streak, Hurricane was able to end that streak by beating and outpunching Benton in a very close 10-round split decision.
See you at television ringside next Saturday night and enjoy the 15 rounds.